AmiTech Fast 5 is brought to you by the A&M Consumer and Retail Group. The A&M Consumer and Retail Group is a management consulting firm that tackles the most complex challenges and advances its clients, people, and communities toward their maximum potential. CRG brings the experience, tools, and operator-like pragmatism to help retailers and consumer products companies be on the right side of disruption. And Miracle, the catalyst of commerce. Over 450 retailers are now opening new revenue streams with marketplaces, dropship, and retail media, and succeeding. With Miracle, you can unlock more products, more partners, and more profits without the heavy lifting. What's holding you back? Visit miracle.com to learn more. That's MIRAKL.com. And Simbi. Simbi powers the most retail banners in the world with today's only multimodal platform for in-store intelligence. See how Albertsons, BJ's, Spartan Nash, and Wakefern win with AI and automation at SimbiRobotics.com. And Infios. At Infios, they unite warehousing, transportation, and order management into a seamless, adaptable network. Infios helps you stay ahead from promise to delivery and every step in between. To learn more, visit Infios.com. And ClearDemand. Pricing shouldn't be guesswork. ClearDemand's AI-powered pricing, data, and optimization solutions help retailers stay competitive while protecting margins. Smarter pricing, stronger profits. ClearDemand makes it happen. Learn more at cleardemand.com/OmniTalk. And finally, Ocampo Capital. Ocampo Capital is a venture capital firm founded by retail executives with the aim of helping early-stage consumer businesses succeed through investment and operational support. Learn more at ocampocapital.com. Hello, you are listening to OmniTalk's Retail Fast 5, ranked in the top 10% of all podcasts globally, and currently the only podcast ranked in the top 100 of all business podcasts on Apple Podcasts. The Retail Fast 5 is a podcast that we hope makes you feel a little smarter, but most importantly, a little happier each week too. And the Fast 5 is just one of the many great podcasts you can find from the OmniTalk Retail Podcast Network, alongside our Retail Daily Minute, which brings you a curated selection of the most important retail headlines every morning, and our Retail Technology Spotlight series, which goes deep each week on the latest retail technology trends. Today is May 28th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Ann Mazinga.
And I'm Chris Walton.
And we are here once again to discuss all the top headlines from the past week, making waves in the world of omnichannel retailing. Chris. Retailing. That's what we do here. We are heading out to Shop Talk Europe on Friday, and then we're going to the Consumer Goods Forum the next week. This is the OmniTalk European Tour. So if you guys aren't already, make sure you're subscribed to OmniTalk on YouTube, on LinkedIn, so you can get all the latest interviews and news from both of those shows. Chris, who are you interviewing on stage next week at Shop Talk Europe? Remind me.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm interviewing executives from Tandem, Leroy Merlin, which actually some of my initial conversations around that will probably play into today's headlines, as well as the Chief Human Resources Officer at Ahold Delhaize. And I'm pretty excited about it. And we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, and I know it's one of your favorite topics too, potentially even more so than mine, which is empowering store associates through technology. So yeah, I'm excited about it. It's Monday afternoon. Getting ready for the show. Love Barcelona. Love Amsterdam too. So it's going to be a fun couple of weeks. But what do you got on the docket? I feel like you're almost like kicking off the show on the keynote stage, if I'm not mistaken.
We are. Yeah, I'm also going to be talking to Tandem, which is a brand that, if you don't know about, for our US listeners, I was pretty impressed by. I mean, Chris, I was not familiar with them before we went into this Shop Talk Europe prep, but I'll be interviewing their CEO, Jaume, on stage, just talking about how they are, how the brand is continuing to expand, hopefully into the US soon. But they're like the number 2 retailer based out of Spain after Zara's Inditex. So big conversation. And then I'm also interviewing the head of global e-commerce for L'Oreal, which will also be a fun conversation. So
nice.
Getting them all out of the way on Monday. So Monday will be an action-packed day.
Yeah, it's funny talking to those guys too, because it sounds like there's a heated battle between the 1, 2, and 3 positioning between Mango, Tandem, and Inditex too, as you talk about it. So so it'll be good for you and for all of our fans to tune in all next week. So All right. Well, should we do this week's show, Ann?
Let's
We don't have
jump
any guest
in.
hosts today. We haven't had
No,
guest hosts
just
It's
us.
just us. Just us.
Sorry,
Sorry, folks.
folks.
Sorry, Omni Talks fans. You just get Ann and me today. All right. In this week's Fast Five, we've got news on Sam's Club delivering pizza, Lowe's new third-party marketplace, Google rolling out agentic AI checkout, Nike's plans to resume selling on Amazon, and A&M's David Schneidman does stop by to share 5 insightful minutes on A&M's latest consumer sentiment survey that they've completed heading into the summer. But we begin today with rather strange news coming out of our former employer, Ann.
That's right, Chris. Headline number one: Target is betting on a new acceleration initiative to turn around its performance. According to Retail Dive, Target announced the establishment of an enterprise acceleration office, which is, quote, aimed at removing friction and enabling the team to make faster decisions in support of our growth, end quote, said Target COO Michael Fidelki, who will also reportedly oversee the initiative. The news comes after Target kicked off its fiscal 2025 with a decline in net and comp store sales, which were down 2.8 and 3.8% respectively, and in which the retailer also saw a drop in traffic and average ticket size, making it Target's third consecutive quarter of negative net sales, not comp sales, but net sales results. Oof. Chris, are you buying or selling Target's new enterprise acceleration office as the key to this turnaround?
Let me say this, Ann. Pump the brakes. That's the expression I'm saying on the acceleration office. Pump the brakes. And I'm going to get out of the gate quickly on this headline today. Ann.
No one's surprised. No one's surprised.
No one is surprised. But I'm going to get pretty pointed too. I mean, the number one thing I would say, or the question I would ask, is how feckless can the CEO Brian Cornell, and more important, the board, actually be with this announcement? The last time I checked, what the acceleration office is charged to do is basically the main job of the CEO. Now, I've railed on this show for the past 2 years about how what happened last week was coming. Talked about it very regularly, honestly, and it's because Cornell never had a growth strategy. He's never had one in place, and now everything's coming home to roost. And so the other part about this is the board is just sitting there almost like they've been caught off guard to this whole thing when lots of us have been talking about it. And now they sign off on an acceleration office when the culture is dying on the vine from everyone we talk to. And Cornell is just sitting there like a lame duck. The quote unquote acceleration office will also no doubt be the first thing the new CEO cuts whenever he or she comes in, because it's just plain stupid. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And so I'm going to say it out loud. I've said it. I don't think I've said it on this show, but I've said it in private circles. But I'm going to say it out loud today. I think Brian Cornell is going to go down as the worst CEO in Target's history. Wow. And he should, because when numerous articles and news outlets and social media are making comments comparing Target to Kmart, it's just gotten that bad, Ann, in my opinion. And like I said last month, it's only going to get worse until the board gets rid of him and brings in someone that can bring back what Target's all about and re-enliven its expect more, pay less promise. Because when Target is running well, that is what it's known for.
Yeah, it's just really sad. I mean, Target being compared to Kmart makes I don't know, it makes me feel awful. Like, that's not where Target should be. It's really, it is a brand that held a lot of equity in people's hearts and minds. And I cannot say it enough. I just feel for every one of our friends and family members who are at Target right now and who are trying to navigate these waters. I think the only thing I would add into the rant, Chris, would be I don't hate the concept of an acceleration office, but it feels like something that should have been done during the pandemic several years ago when Target was riding high during that time to figure out how to continue that momentum. Right now, it just feels like it's too little too late. And I feel like that's the sentiment that I keep hearing from friends who are still at Target is like, Cornell's email that went out about the DEI initiatives, too little, too late. Like this acceleration office, too little, too late. You're 100% right that this just should be the role. Acceleration should be part of the CEO's role. And I will just end by saying one of the funniest things I heard to turn this around is that Target insiders are calling the acceleration office Target Doge, which
Target
I
Doge. Yeah.
which I thought was like not improving
Hilarious.
morale by any means
No.
inside, but it gives you a sense of how those internal employees are feeling, and it's past time for someone new to take the helm and just clean house over there.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? And I didn't think about this until you just said it. We were part of the previous quote unquote acceleration office when we were part of the innovation portfolio, which
Right.
Brian Cornell and the board abruptly shut down and said, we are not going to focus on innovation. We're going to stay core to what Target is, which in reality is antithetical to how Target originated.
Right.
Target was a standalone concept created by the Dayton Hudson Corporation as an innovative idea. And so Cornell shut all those things down. And now he and the board are trying to bring this idea back. You're 100% right. These are ideas that could work as long as they were interwoven in the DNA and they were thought about and done consistently year over year over year, and money and capital was devoted to them.
Yep. All right, let's talk about something more fun.
Yeah, because I deliberately put this headline number 2 in the
Get
order
it over
because I
with.
figured
Get it
this is
over
where we
with.
would be. Yeah, but the other thing I want to say too is, for those fans that, those fans out there or listeners that are always like, yeah, you're hard on Target. It's because I care, like I wanted to have people see what was coming ahead of time, so you wouldn't find themselves in this situation. But anyway, headline number 2, Sam's Club's Members Mark hot baked pizza is now deliverable, and hot,
Yay!
fresh, and just, believe it or not, fans, $8.98. Holy cow. That is such a hot price.
Steal of a deal. Steal of a deal.
Oh my
for
God.
Hot, yeah.
According to a Walmart press release, Members Mark hot baked pizza, one of the hardest things to say, is officially available through delivery in the majority of Sam's Clubs nationwide and will be live in all clubs by the end of the month. Members can enjoy their favorite toppings, pepperoni, cheese, and my potential go-to, 4 meat. Curious what those 4 meats are at. I was trying to figure that out without
Do you
looking it
want
up.
to really know what the 4 meats are?
Oh yeah, I totally do. But that's what I'm going for: hot, fresh, and straight to the door. I know that's not your pick because it's got ham in it. And if you need it fast, Members Mark hot baked pizza is also eligible for express delivery, arriving in less than 3 hours from the time you place your order. And does pizza for under $10 delivered right to your door make you want to run out and get a Sam's Club membership?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it does. I mean,
It does.
I think they're gonna get so many people who weren't Sam's Club members already who hear about this deal and realize like those pizzas are excellent. Like they're big, they feed a lot of people, and for the price, you just can't beat it. Not to mention, I think the gates that this opens for Sam's Club for delivery of other products, because it's not just pizza. You can also order salads and other items from the Sam's Cafe. You could order this in conjunction with your larger bulk item delivery. Like I think that this could even be like the impulse item that you add on to the end of like, okay, I'm gonna order my weekly like supplies from Sam's Club, and then it's coming on a Friday. I'm gonna have them deliver a pizza with that as well. Like this, I think, is so smart from Sam's Club. It shows that they're really working on how to figure this out logistically too, because of the requirements for delivery of a product like a pizza. So I'm so happy. I think they're going to see a lot of interest come in from just a simple "let's deliver pizzas" announcement. But what about you? Are you motivated to try the $8.98 pizza?
Oh, you know me, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an unassailable move of marketing genius to me, and
Yes.
I freaking love this. I mean, my mom has this. I don't have a Sam's Club membership. My mom has one, and we use hers. But I think she gets back into town tonight. I think tomorrow night we're dialing this up. We're dialing up the Sam's Club pizza, I think. And but the one thing I will say though, the one misgiving I have, and it was hard to understand this in the press release, is the delivery window seems long. Like you have to be planning ahead. And we've actually put an inquiry out to the Sam's Club team to come on our show and talk about this because we want to understand it better. But I think ultimately to save money and to get that kind of deal on pizza, I'm okay with that because pizza's gotten super expensive.
Yes.
And the best thing about it too, from my standpoint on why Sam's Club is doing this, I think you hit on it a little bit, but to touch on it a little bit more, it adds volume to their delivery runs. As well. So, you want more volume for every delivery you're putting out there. So if you can time it up with the the other orders, they're going out to the neighborhoods. I think that makes sense. So I love this. I think it's just so differentiating. It eats at Domino's really big. But the other thing I love about it, and Costco, they're not. It doesn't seem like Costco's in any way going to be able to touch something like this because they're so antiquated in terms of how they look at things digitally. So I think Sam's Club continues to win with this and continues to win with younger generations. When you look at, plays like this and scan and go shopping and, the receiptless checkout and all that that whole thing. So I don't know if receiptless checkout's the right way to say it, but you know what I'm talking about. And help me out.
Yeah. When you scan and go, the scan and go checkout where they scan the bottom of your car, or they scan your cart to make sure that
you just walk through the archway checkout, So like, I think it's just they're doing some great things there, man. I wish I knew it was in the water down at Sam's Club.
You like Costco pizza, you still have to call. That's the only option you have, is to call ahead and pick it up. And that's it.
If you want to pick it up and take it home.
Yes. And you do it because the pizzas are $8 and they feed
right.
Like and I think that gets to your point earlier too. Like, I know Friday nights I'm going to have a house full of kids and whatever. Like, if my delivery's coming on a Friday and I can throw those pizzas in, I'm going to do it. It's so affordable and it hits on convenience in a way that no one else can really do for me. So right now, I think that's huge. That part of it is huge. And Costco's way behind.
Yeah. And to your point, like if you're ordering 4 pizzas or 5 pizzas, this almost saves you like $50 to $100.
Oh, for sure it does.
It's insane.
It definitely does. Yeah. It's a great move. Well done, Sam's Club. All right, let's go on to headline number 3, Chris. Lowe's is partnering with Miracle to accelerate its online marketplace. According to a Lowe's press release, through its partnership with Miracle, Lowe's is positioned to scale its e-commerce business faster while allowing trusted marketplace sellers to easily manage their catalogs on Lowe's.com, better serving customers wherever they are in their home improvement journey. Since launching its marketplace, Lowe's has expanded its offerings from third-party sellers, including indoor and outdoor furniture, kitchen and bath, home decor, power and hand tools, and more. The benefits of Lowe's Marketplace extend to members of MyLowe's Rewards loyalty program, with members accruing points on any marketplace purchases. All marketplace products are currently available for home delivery, and customers may return marketplace products purchased through Lowe's.com directly to any one of Lowe's over 1,700 stores. Chris, I'm guessing you're going to be as excited as you were for the Sam's Club story, but are you excited about the Lowe's new marketplace partnership with Miracle? And what excites you most?
What excites me most about it, I think you hit it right in the headline read, honestly, Ann, and it's the combination of Lowe's using and talking about loyalty and the value of their stores within the creation of their digital marketplace, because that is how you differentiate an online marketplace, and Lowe's is clearly thinking smartly in that direction. The other point I would make is that an online marketplace is particularly important in home furnishings because of what I've said before on this show 1,000 times. Furnishing a home is a massive chore, and the more you can get done in one space, the better, whether you're a homeowner or even a contractor, or even a pro looking to buy many things all at once, all of which then comes back to, as I said at the outset, and can be augmented by the loyalty incentives you're doing to incent that behavior. So that's why I love this move from Lowe's. And again, you can't discount the fact too that you can bring these products back to the store, which is also an important factor in driving loyalty as well and driving reuse. So net, I love this as well. I think it's great. And kudos to our sponsors, Miracle, for becoming the platform for Lowe's. It's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I think I think this will have less of an impact on the pro customer because most of those customers need to go get something same day, like get that kind of thing. But what I really think this opens up is an extended audience for the Lowe's home improvement customer, the regular people out there who need these products, especially when we start looking at what, Dave Schneidman is going to come on and talk about in a little bit, is changing consumer sentiment. You are now opening up the Lowe's world of products to all sorts of options. It's giving customers choice when they don't have as much money. If they go into the Lowe's store and they see two, drills that they might need for an upcoming project, and then they can go online and they can still get their rewards points at Lowe's, but they
Hmm.
can find some other options that might be lower priced or more middle of the road that Lowe's just can't carry inventory for in store. You're hanging on to that customer and you're getting them to come to you for more things because they know that you're going to give them the assortment and a price point for a good in, especially in all the categories that we just covered off on, from home furnishings to power tools. They will have the customer coming there first, and they own that relationship with the customer at the end of the day too,
Hmm.
which what more could you ask for? It's such a smart move from Lowe's.
Yeah, and when you think about it too, like who they're really trying to differentiate against here is Amazon on the one-off,
Yes.
pickoffs. And Amazon,
Yes.
for the most part, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't have a loyalty program. In fact, I pay $99 a month or a
For
year,
no
or well, no,
loyalty.
like $139 a year to Amazon to be loyal to it. And so
Yeah.
now you're taking that out of the equation, and Lowe's is smartly thinking about how do I use loyalty to build an online marketplace so that people realize that that's dumb and I can get the same level and quality of service and better discounts and more affordability by shopping with Lowe's. So I think I think that's the point that I hadn't thought about until you just said what you said.
All right, Chris, it's
Let's bring
time.
David onto the show. Dave Schneidman. Joining us now for 5 insightful minutes to discuss his company's latest current consumer sentiment survey is the A&M Consumer and Retail Group's David Schneidman. Dave, let's start with this. What does consumer sentiment look like going into the summer months?
First, thanks for having me as always, Chris and Ann. With the macroeconomic uncertainties, that is having a huge effect on consumers.
Yeah.
First it was COVID, then supply chain issues, then the war, no inflations, and now last tariffs. So consumers are planning on spending less, and they're planning on saving more during the financial uncertainties. They're not um, super worried, but they're being, I would say, a little bit more vigilant. In fact, about 10% of all consumers are expected to spend less, where about 30% of consumers are planning on saving more. Now, however, most of the cutting is coming from discretionary spending. So particularly think like restaurants, going out, prepared food, along with luxury goods, jewelries, and accessories. F&B, it is still around flat. We'll talk more about that shortly, but consumers are just being mindful of the unknown right now.
So, Dave, what kind of trade-offs are consumers willing to make then in search of a better value?
Yeah, so I mentioned that overall about just it's kind of there's not much change with F&B from a macro aspect,
Okay.
but particularly about 25% of consumers still do plan on cutting back within food and beverage. So think groceries, and with that, there's a couple of different ways. About 50% of consumers are planning on switching to cheaper brands. So cheaper brands is
Okay.
one option. The second is buying fewer groceries, which is around 25% of consumers planning on doing that. And the last is just switching to cheaper stores. So going to being more mindful of mass big box stores or discounters. And that's about the other 25%. Additionally, within that, consumers are more willing to try other brands right now. In fact, about 30% of consumers will try almost 10 new brands. And the leading factor of that is price. So price is having a huge impact on trial, but still wanting to be healthy, desiring to try new products, and then just recommendations from friends, families, and influencers are still having impact on consumer penetration.
Dave, what does all that mean for the private label side of the business?
Yeah, so consumers are increasingly embracing private label. Almost 75% of our report says that people are purchasing private label somewhat often or often. And over 50% of consumers believe private label has improved over last year. So private label is here to stay. Perceptions are at an all-time high in terms of quality, affordability, ingredients, accessibility. No surprise there. The leading driver of private label is purchase is price.
Mhm.
However, taste ingredients still make up about 25% of the main purchase influencing power factors. So price ingredients are here as well. So private label is definitely here. Huge perception improvement and needs to be part of a retailer's plan going forward.
So then, Dave, as we close, what advice do you have for retailers who kind of are trying to navigate these changing consumer sentiments?
Besides looking at price, having the right assortment and merchandising, two things that aren't talked about as often are about loyalty and technology.
Mm.
Within loyalty, consumers are engaging in loyalty programs to
Mm.
stretch their spending power. About two-thirds of all consumers use a loyalty program in food and beverage and grocery. And it's about 75% of purchases within the are influenced by loyalty programs. And that's even higher for consumers who are under the age of 45. So loyalty programs, huge. And then the other around technology, over 60% of our respondents interact with different technologies to influence their buying decisions,
Hmm.
particularly subscription models influence about 75% of purchases. In fact, about
Wow.
20%, yeah, it's crazy. About 20% of all grocery purchases are done 100% via subscription, which is crazy. So one in five consumers are doing all of their grocery shopping online.
Hmm.
And about 75% are doing at least 75% of their grocery shopping online. So subscription models are here. And the main drivers besides deals and promotion, just convenience. We live in a world where people, time is money. They know what they like, they know what they don't like, and just that frictionless approach to grocery buying, which is a daily, weekly, monthly thing, is huge to the consumer. So don't forget about loyalty and technology, and they kind of go hand in hand. Huge impact to driving purchasing decisions.
Great stuff, Dave. Thank
Thank,
you.
thank you, Dave.
If you want to read the latest consumer sentiment survey from our friends at the A&M Consumer and Retail Group, you will find it in full in our show notes from today's episode. All right, headline number 4, Google is rolling out agentic AI checkout. According to Chain Store Age, Google is introducing a new artificial intelligence enhanced shopping experience called AI Mode. The tech giant's AI Mode shopping experience combines its Gemini generative AI chatbot with Google's shopping graph, a real-time data set of products, inventory, and merchants with more than 45 billion listings, in-stock inventory data from a range of retailers. Every hour, more than 2 billion of those product listings are refreshed on Google, 2 billion with a B. In the coming months, customers will be able to search for products using conversational language and see a right-hand panel of images and product listings. Once a customer selects a product, a new agentic AI checkout will help customers buy at a price that fits their budgets. Shoppers will be able to tap track price on any product listing and set options such as size or color and the amount they want to spend, and then receive price drop notifications. When ready to buy, the customer will then be able to confirm the purchase details and tap buy for me. Behind the scenes, Google will add the item to their cart on the retailer site and securely complete the checkout with Google Play. This agentic checkout feature will be rolling out in the coming months to product listings in the US. And there was a lot there intentionally because we wanted to make sure the fans knew how this was designed to work. And lo and behold, this is also the A&M put you on the spot question. Are you ready for it this week?
Oh, yes. If it's about Google shopping, you know I'm ready for it.
I know. I picked this one specifically for you. I put this as headline number 4, specifically for you. All right, here it is. How much does this enhance the experience for those who currently use Google Shopping, or does this have the chance to disproportionately pull from those who currently go directly to retailer.com sites for B2C buying? The floor is yours.
Well, listeners, I tried this last night, and I will clarify, the try it on mode was available to me. The rest of the features, it sounds like, are coming soon to the rest of us who aren't in the beta program. But the AI generated image,
Yeah, it looked pretty damn good.
I put these up on LinkedIn last night. The AI generated images are so good. Like so good. And I'm a huge skeptic about the fit me models and all these things. No, 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 no. But I think what A&M, where A&M's question is getting at, and what I think is the most impressive thing here is when I'm as a shopper, I put into Gemini like, hey, I'm looking for a suit for Barcelona for next week that will be weather appropriate. Okay. That's how people are going to be searching. They're not going to the .coms anymore. It's give me some options. And now if you think about where this could go eventually, just taking that picture that I've uploaded and showing me all of these items on me as a model, not a model that looks like me, but on me, and I get to look at those. I mean, I was not planning on purchasing something, Chris. There are 3 things in 3 carts right now from just that thing that I was like, oh, I mean, you still have the issue potentially of it arriving and it doesn't fit as the AI model for sure.
Yeah.
But you know what? Those things are in my cart. Those companies have my contact information. They're pinging me and saying, mango.com is like, you left this suit in your cart. Here's the picture of it on you once again.
Right.
And do you want to check out? And I think the last thing that I'll add about where Google is really going to continue to stand out with this is when they start to add on these other features. And Nicole Netland, one of our former coworkers from Target Store of the Future, who's working on this project, she said in a chat that we had a few weeks ago at Google in New York that the key thing here about where Google has a moat that some of these other players in the space do not have is they know what I'm looking at on YouTube Shorts. They know what kind of content I'm looking at there. They know my Gmail address. They know what activities are on my Google Calendar. And so when you start thinking about how they can kind of do the push and pull with me as a consumer here, based on the inputs they're getting from all of those sources and Gemini and the quality of the content they can serve me up, I think this is putting Google in an exceptional place, or as a challenger to some of these other big companies that are coming up in this space, and especially as it applies to commerce. So I'm a huge fan. Chris, talk me down.
Talk you down?
Where am I missing some key points about this rollout?
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I think you're bringing up some interesting points I hadn't thought of in preparation for this. I mean, you're right. I think, anyone that uses Google's calendar, email, even Google Chrome, Google probably knows more about you than you know about yourself, which is something I always used to say about social media, but Google probably knows even more when you put it in that context.
Yeah.
So that's really powerful in what you said. The point about you've been a fit skeptic, I kind of gave you a Cheshire grin on the camera, off camera, because I'm like, have you? Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've had lots of debates on this, and but the thing I would make that I think I agree with you, because I saw the stuff you posted and it looked amazing. My only question is like, is it really going to fit that well, or is it just like super tailored to look good on you? I have no idea. But that's an important question that has to be uncovered and understood. So, for me though, the longer term implications of this, like the agentic AI part of the conversation, and Google start to take share from retailer.com or visits, to retailer.com, as A&M was asking. I don't know. I think the jury's out. I think it all comes down to the UX and ultimately the ease of payment too, which we've talked about on past shows. For me, the best analogy I can make to this is I think we're going to be in like a Betamax versus VHS battle here in agentic checkout. Similar to Betamax, the best tech or the best moats, quote unquote, might not be the ones who win out. It could just be the whoever makes this experience the one that's the easiest to buy from. And Google, as much as it has these moats, history is not on its side when it comes to figuring out e-commerce at all. It's always been a tough get for them. And so will it be Amazon? Is it going to be one of the upstarts? I have no idea. I can't wait to find out though. And as you showed on LinkedIn very admirably yesterday, we've got a front row seat, and it's going to be buckle your seatbelts because I can't wait to watch this.
Totally. And I think one more thing I just add in closing, Chris,
Yeah.
is I think that Google Shopping in the past was never set up to work this way. Google is a tech
Right.
company. They were
Right.
not a commerce
Right.
focused company. And I think that's where they're really, you can see, like just with this
Yeah. It
AI try
re-enlivens
on
them.
example, right?
Yeah.
Like it's, I think, and to answer A&M's question again, like I think any agentic search is taking away from going to the .com.
Yeah.
So it
Right.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It like
Yeah.
let's clarify
It will
there.
happen over time. Yeah.
It absolutely will happen over
100%.
time. So people like Google and what they put out here, being able to showcase multiple brands so that you as a consumer have the most choice like this, whoa, it's going to be great. I can't wait. As a shopper, I'm thrilled. So we'll see what happens next.
It's pretty mind blowing.
All right, let's go to headline number 5, Chris. Nike reportedly plans to start selling on Amazon again. According to Chain Storage, following a 6-year hiatus, Nike will once again sell its products directly on Amazon. In late 2019, Nike ended a pilot it launched in 2017 to sell merchandise directly to Amazon as it focused on selling more directly to consumers on its own website and stores. A Nike spokesperson confirmed to CNBC that it will resume selling goods via Amazon in the US as part of a broader digital commerce effort. The spokesperson said in the statement, quote, "This includes expanding to new digital accounts, including Amazon in the US, new physical partners like Printom, elevating retail experiences across the marketplace, and launching Nike's AI-powered conversational search to improve our online services," end quote. In addition, Amazon confirmed via an email to CNBC that it will start sourcing a, quote, "much wider range of Nike products," end quote, for U.S. shoppers. And as part of the relaunch, Amazon, as reported by WWD, has also told select third-party merchants that they can no longer sell certain Nike items on Amazon starting July 19th. Chris, a lot in Nike's digital plan here. Are you pro or con Nike coming back to Amazon?
Oh, and resolutely hate this move.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all.
Okay.
I'm curious if you feel the same way.
Yeah. Tell us more.
Particularly after our discussion on Saks Fifth Avenue a couple weeks ago. Because I think Nike's a brand that should stand on its own. And all these talks of the new partnerships with Urban Outfitters, to me, they're just silly. They're just marketing vehicles to try to enliven the brand, and they're just a waste of time because they're not going to add any discernible real revenue to the top line. And they're just a lot of effort. So I think when I step back and look at this from 30,000 feet, I think the previous regime had the right strategy, which is create a more direct one-to-one relationship with your consumers, which is what omnichannel retailing is all about. But it just seemingly didn't have the right execution. So going on Amazon just makes Nike like everything else on Amazon. And the other part about this, which you alluded to in previous headlines today, was you lose the first party data relationship with your customer too. And so I don't know why you would do that in any way, shape, or form. So to me, this move is emblematic of a company that finds itself in a really tough spot. The Jordan brand is clearly post-peak now at this point. I mean, Jordan's got to be, in his 60s now, if I'm not mistaken. They've had trouble making their marking athleisure. They haven't been able to crack the code on that. They've also been losing ground in running. So going on Amazon, it may be a boost to short-term sales, but in the long term, it's a losing proposition to companies like Lululemon and On Running, who are going to keep that one-to-one relationship with their customers. They're going to hold it dear, and they're going to hold it close to their heart because they understand that's what makes them special. And Nike going on Amazon is no longer special to me.
Yeah, I actually agree completely. I feel like this is a very short-sighted approach, and in my mind, really moves Nike to more of a utility purchase than a lifestyle purchase. Like it used to be a cachet thing that like you'd have, these limited edition drops and stuff. But if you're able to get this product in mass, it loses its uniqueness, and I think it also damages brand equity that they've built with JD Sports or DSG and Foot Locker, like we talked about last week. Like, what unique product are they really going to have when the majority of consumers are going to be like, but I can get these similar Nikes on Amazon for, this price and get them delivered in an hour or whatever it is. So I think that to me causes alarm. Also, I wonder if this doesn't open up Nike to more fraudulent product too. Like when you're on the Amazon, you're on Amazon now, like are you opening it up because people are going to just search Nike or Air Force Ones? Like, Are they more susceptible to getting a product that isn't an original, Nike product? And how does Nike kind of control that part of it? Because that to me is another area where you don't always know what you're getting. And Amazon's not as I guess closely watching that as some of your other larger partners. But
Yeah, I'm not as worried about that because I think the subcontext to the headline you read is I actually think Amazon has made a deal with Nike to try to police that to a larger degree than they probably
sure.
have in the past as well. That was what I took from that, but it probably could potentially still be an issue. But, Amazon today, in today's day and age with technology, should be able to tell when somebody's trying to, put out a counterfeit pair of Nikes as a third party seller and get them off the site, because the only people that should be selling Nikes on their site are Nike.
Correct.
Right? In theory.
In theory.
So, yeah.
Yes.
In theory, that's the way. But I think the other point you made me think of too here, Ann, is like the drops. I used to go on the drops all the time. I've stopped looking at it because the product sucks. It's not interesting. It's just really lame, and they got to re-enliven their product strategy too. To your point, like how are you going to re-enliven your product strategy, and then how are you going to decide who gets what product? And going on Amazon just makes that such a complicated effort.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it doesn't seem like the right move. It feels like it's just 100% utility. Like I need a new pair of shoes for my kid. I'm going to get the cheapest Nikes I can on Amazon, have them delivered same day, which is good in the short term. It'll probably boost sales a little bit, but is that the lasting impression you want to leave with your consumer? No. I don't think so.
I thought your comment about utility. What'd you say? Utility versus
lifestyle.
Lifestyle. Yeah, I think that nails it.
All right, Chris, let's go to the lightning round. We're talking pizza again. Pizza Hut is bringing back the summer Book It program, which sparks so much nostalgia for me. Oh,
Does
my
it?
goodness. Oh,
wow.
I loved Book It. Did you participate as a kid in Arizona? It doesn't sound like you did, but if you did, what did you get on your personal pan pizza?
No, we didn't have that in Arizona. At least at my school.
Was this a Midwestern thing?
I don't know. I mean, I went to a Catholic school and we only got pizza once a month.
I did too.
It was from some local dude who we were probably helping launder money, in reality, and because like God knows what he was doing. But I mean, if I were to get a personal pan pizza, I'm going as close to 4 meats as I can get, and starting with the big God. 2, sausage and pepperoni. You know that.
You were putting money in Sammy Pepperoni Pizza's pocket. You were not. There's no Pizza Hut.
Oh, you know there was some kickback going on there. Like the local pizza guys giving pizza to all the school kids every once a month on a Wednesday. Yeah, for sure.
No Book It program there. Didn't have to read a lot, like 16 Boxcar Children books to get that pizza.
No, Our Lady of Mount Carmel. Yep. Shout out to them. All right, the HuffPost reported this week that Anthropic's Claude Opus 4 would resort to, quote, extremely harmful actions, end quote, to preserve its own existence, including potentially blackmailing engineers for things like extramarital affairs. How many years do you give us, Ann, before Terminator, the movie, becomes a reality?
Okay, you're going to be really disappointed when you hear this, but I have never watched the entire Terminator movie, so I feel like I can't.
Either one of them?
No.
Terminator or T2? Oh my God.
I know.
Oh,
I'm really embarrassed. So I added it to my watch list for this. Hopefully this weekend for the plane trip. I will try to watch Terminator. But this is a very concerning thing.
Yeah, right?
I still feel like we have water still. So like, is it still going to be able to do that if we pour water on the machine? I think it is. I think it still can damage our lives. So I'm going to say 10 years.
10 years. God, I hope it's longer than that. But my God, it's such a crazy story. It's such a crazy story.
I don't know. I mean,
I know.
What would you guess? Are you taking the over or under?
I think I'd take the over on 10 years, but I think, if you go 50 to 100 years, I think, yeah, we're there. We're
oh my God.
I think I'm
sorry, grandchildren.
At this point, Ann.
Yeah,
I am.
All right. Question number 3, Chris. The latest TikTok travel hack is a pillowcase. People are filling pillowcases with clothing and bringing them on board to avoid a fee for carry-ons. Can you imagine just stuffing all your clothes in your pillow and bringing that on?
No.
So as we head out for our 2-week tour, share with the OmniTalk audience what your best travel hack is.
Wow. Oh God. I'm curious what yours is aside from sleeping in like an actual body cast when you go into some hotel. But
I have a lot of travel hacks. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, aside from bringing my own toilet paper, like we talked about on this show, I would also recommend, especially for international travel, bringing a lot of high fiber snacks. Like I just went to the store and loaded up on dried dates, and so that's mine. But what's one of your travel hacks? I have no idea.
Slippers. Bring shoes for the hotel room or ask your hotel for slippers. A lot of hotels have them. Think about all the places that those suitcases are rolling, that your shoes have traveled in all these cities, and you're walking around in your bare feet. Nasty.
Right.
Number one, I do also bring a pillowcase, but for my own reason, like I just like to have my own pillowcase when I'm traveling in addition to my sleep suit. I bring a candle for the hotel room because sometimes the hotel rooms stink. So I have a little travel candle. I mean, so many things. The list could keep going on. I just have become a very seasoned traveler at this point.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have. Wow, you could use a suitcase just for your hacks, is what I take from this.
Yes. It's why I'm over 50 pounds every time.
Right. Yes, you are. You're very close. You're always scared the line. All right, last one, and Game 5 of the T-Wolves versus the Thunder tonight. Who do you got?
T-Wolves, always. Wolves in 7. We're gonna go on a 3-game run. Or we won't, and that's also fine because if they do make it to the playoffs, we're gonna be in Europe, and I'll be up in the middle of the night watching the Timberwolves games. So come on, Wolves. Mike Conley.
Not a chance.
I love you.
Not a chance in hell, Ann. And I'm going to go out on a hot take here, too. Anthony Edwards is going to become soon one of the most overrated players in the NBA. That's my prediction. Happy birthday today to Gladys Knight, Carey Mulligan, and to the man who played Joey in Bad News Bears, Brandon Cruz. And remember, if you can only read or listen to one retail blog in the business, make it OmniTalk, the only retail media outlet run by 2 former executives from a current top 10 U.S. retailer. Our Fast Five podcast is the quickest, fastest rundown of all the week's top news, and our daily newsletter, the Retail Daily Minute, tells you all you need to know each day to stay on top of your game as a retail executive, and also regularly features exclusive content that Ann and I take a lot of pride in doing just for you. Thanks as always for listening in. Please remember to like and leave us a review wherever you happen to listen to your podcast or on YouTube. You can follow us today by simply going to youtube.com/OmniTalk Retail. So until next week, and on behalf of all of us at OmniTalk, on behalf of Ann and myself, be careful out there.